Hello guys, welcome back on another meta shift season, which includes almost every item being changed, Yuntal rework, Xayah collector heavy nerfs, Kraken close to a dead state again, bunch of runes change, and of course new little tempo that is actually focusing on its damage rather than attack speed. I will make assumptions about the builds and the runes for all your favorite champions according to their current builds and expected win rate of their items. Get ready and enjoy. Let's start it. First on the list is Aphelios. On his example I will show how build system will work in my video and talk about some runes changes. So, common build is based on current items data firstly, and the changes in the next patch secondly. This build should be good, but probably not the best. Experimental build is based on changes in the patch and can include completely different playstyle for your champion. It can be insanely good, but only time will tell. Therefore, Aphelios season start will be tough. Both his best first items, Xayah and Collector, got heavy nerfs. Sadly, Aphelios cannot build anything else, so Xayah will remain its spot as his best first item. Second item will be much better. Phantom Dancer is insanely good for him, and wasn't nerfed that much, while new Yuntal gives decent amount of AD and flat damage on crit. Third item for most builds is optional. I'm just showing the best options, but you can build a different third item, like Mortal Reminder, Shield Bow or anything else. It depends on the game. Experimental build trying to take advantage of new Yuntal into getting a decent crit chance early. It can be his best build if Yuntal changes will land well. About his runes. New little tempo should be good for him. PTA can be an option too. Absorb Life is heavily nerfed even on the life patch, and Presence of Mind is even worse now because it can proc only once in 6 seconds. Next, Alacrity is better than Bloodline most of the time, and it won't change with the new patch. Carved Grace shows itself the best on Aphelios, so take this, no questions asked. About second tree, there are two big changes. First, cookies now give only health, which is in my opinion kills the whole idea behind cookies. If you need HP and survivability, you are going conditioning with overgrowth, not cookies. The only time they can be good is if you are playing versus heavy double poke. Second big change is Nimbus Cloak. Its move speed got basically doubled for low CD summoning spells, which works insanely well with barrier on ADCs. Therefore, for most ADCs, best secondary tree will be Nimbus Cloak with Gathering Storm, because games will be much slower. Also, if you want to fully maximize your Aphelios win rate, I recommend to follow these max orders, not most common one. As you can see, there are many things I can say about this or that champion, so I will try to be as fast as I can. Let's speed up! Ashe is our second champion. Lethal Tempo should be the best for her. PTA and Fleet are decent options. Absorb Life and Last Stand with Carved Grace are also fine for Ashe, and you can take them in certain situations. Her build is nothing new. Static into PD or Trinity is the best option for Ashe and gives her a lot of upfront damage and mobility. Experimental build is a bit interesting. Statistics shows that Ashe is performing pretty good with BT, and it's actually making sense, because she doesn't benefit from crit as much as other ADCs. You can definitely try it. Caitlyn. She has two different rune pages. Both are viable and I'm not sure which one will be the best. First is a standard precision tree. All precision key runes don't look great, so Lethal Tempo probably will be the best out of all of them. Other runes are pretty much set in stone. You can take any of the last row rune depending on the game. Second page is Inspiration Tree, which will be nerfed by Cookies change. Still, it should be fine in games where you are able to start the fight first. However, her build path will be much weaker. Again, Collector and Xayah don't look great now, so Static should be the best option. Xayah can be good if you have a lot of gold. For second item, PD is consistently performing better than any other second item for Kate, and it won't change with the new patch. Experimental build is once again trying new Yuntal, which should be decent with the Zeal items. Draven. His runes are pretty stable. The only two things you can change is Alacrity instead of Bloodline and Treasure Hunter instead of either Eyeball Collection or Taste of Blood, but it's mostly a preference. However, his build is a bit different. Xayah is getting hard nerf, so it's not viable as second and third item option for him. Therefore, Essence River should be his best second item. PD and Shield Bow both looking pretty great as third item, but again, it's situational. His experimental build is lethality focused. Most of these items weren't nerfed that much, so you can clearly play them versus squishy compositions. Oh, Ezreal, it's tough for you. He is pretty flexible with keystone runes. PTA good, Conqueror good, New Lethal Tempo can be also good. If you talk about small runes, Cup the Grace can be an option into squishy compositions, but Cut Down is better on average. Next, due to Cookie's changes, it's either Magical Footwear or Cashback with the Jack of all trades. About build, there is not much to say. The only thing is that Muramana got hit pretty hard, so it's probably better to build it third. Shojin and BT will provide you a much better mid-game. Jhin, he has two different rune pages. First is Precision 1 with Fleet, which works great for him. Alacrity and any rune from the last row are decent options for him. Second option is Domination with Dark Harvest. It works great if you think there will be a lot of fights in bot lane. For both rune pages, Nimbus Cloak with Gathering Storm is the way to go. Celerity is also decent if you need to kite more. His build didn't change, static into PD is still the best build. BT and EE are optional. Experimental is pure lethality, which should be viable into squishy compositions. Jinx, she can take almost every rune in Precision 3, except Legend Haste. Lethal Tempo with Triumph into Alacrity is the best rune choice by just a bit. For secondary runes, it's buffed Nimbus Cloak and Gathering Storm. Celerity can also be decent if you need to kite a lot in the game. Her build is not a lethality one. Both Collector and Opportunity were heavily nerfed and you cannot one-shot people that easily anymore. Static into PD is the most stable choice. Third item is optional, but BT and Shield Bow looks like the best options among other items. Experimental build contain reworked Yuntal, which should work decent for Jinx. Also, Essence River is performing pretty good on this patch, and it wasn't nerfed as hard as other items, so you can definitely try it. Kai'Sa has the same problem every split. Her evolves. She needs 100 AD and 100% attack speed, but all items are getting nerfed, which means that it will be much harder for her to hit the bare minimum for evolves. Kai'Sa shouldn't like New Lethal Tempo, but PTA is also completely fine for her. Triumph Alacrity is her best small runes. Last row is optional. With the inspiration, you can choose something between Jack of all trades, Triple Tonic, Magical Footwear and Cashback. There is also a cool resolve option for Kai'Sa. She likes to go in, and additional HP with resist help her to survive while doing so. I recommend to try it. However, her build is scuffed. You either need to buy additional long sword between first and second item to achieve 100 AD mark, or wait for your levels. In experimental build it's kinda fixed, but I'm not sure if it will be her best build. Only time will tell. Kalista. She will get her lethal tempo back, but she will still be weak. There is no flexibility in Precision 3 runes. For Domination 3, Treasure Hunter and Taste of Blood are viable options. You can also get conditioning with Overgrowth for harder matchups. Botrick is not good right now, so she has to play with Rich Blade. Hunan or PD should be a decent second item options. Other on-hit items or BT are third. Her lethality build is very weak, so sadly she doesn't have experimental build. Kog'Maw, the strongest ADC, who will benefit if tanks will be the meta. His runes didn't change, except a new Lethal Tempo, which should be strong for him. As for his build, Botrick wasn't good for him, and won't be good in new season 2. Rage Blade into Navoy or Hunan is your way to play Kog. Lucian. PTA is still the best for him, but Lethal Tempo should be a strong option too. Triumph, Alacrity, Cut Down, these runes are the best for him. Second tree will be the Domination one. Sudden Impact and Eyeball Collection helps a lot with his early aggression and Snowball. His build is the same as in previous patch, but BT is probably better than EE third. Also, you could try Yuntal first instead of River and get EE third. It can work pretty good. For his experimental build, Voltaic Cycler Sword performing pretty good on Lucian, and with RFC proc you will apply more damage and slow the enemy. Good items combination for Lucian. Misfortune has two different runes pages. First is Standard Precision with strong sorcery options. Second is Domination with the Harvest that is better with her lethality build. About her builds. Now with EE being nerfed, BT can finally be the best item for her. Essence River second and EE or AFC third provides her a lot of damage, and they are pretty much the most comfortable items on her. Lethality build is the same as for some other champions. Opportunity is hard nerfed, so Hubris take its spot. Nilah. Her runes will be the same as in the last split. However, there is some interesting trend with Triple Tonic Magical Footwear in Inspiration instead of Domination. Elixirs works very good on her due to her ability of getting levels faster. However, her build path sucks now. Collector and the Year were her core items. It's pretty hard to play with them now, so Essence River will probably be the best option, following by Shield Bow or Death Dance as second item. Samira, the biggest loser of the new patch. Not only snowballing will be worse in general, her core items are also in a pretty bad spot now. Her runes are the same, so there is not much to say about them, except Last Stand is also a decent option for her. Samira's items are, well, she doesn't function well without Collector EE as first and second item, but both of them are hard nerfed. Let's see what future brings to us, but Samira will need some buffs most likely. Her lethality build, however, can be good into squishy champions. Sivir should be stronger in the new split with longer games. Lethal Tempo will probably be the best for her, but PTA and Fleet are also decent options. Sorcery will provide her a better scaling and move speed. Sivir is probably the biggest winner of Yuntal changes. Yuntal into Navoi should be her most optimal build. Smolder. Poor Dragon won't have a fun time at the start of the new split. Not only he was nerfed before Worlds, his items are also won't be the best. For runes, Smolder can use pretty much any rune in Precision Tree, but this is the most optimal ones. Sorcery as second tree should be better for him after Cookies changes and Nimbus Cloak buffs. His build remains the same, except Mana Immune, which wasn't good for him before and will be even worse now. Also, BT looks very good, so I recommend to try it as your second item. Tristana. She is getting a lot of adjustments in 14-19, so I cannot really know what will be the best build for her. Runes are not changed for her, but if you will decide to play without Essence River, I recommend to take Presence of Mind to solve her mana problems. Yeah, stats shows that Essence River looks good for her, and it will probably remain the same in the next patch. With River you can take Nabori and still have a lot of mana. However, if you are playing Yuntal, maybe it's better to stick to PD to not waste any additional mana. BT or maybe EE are her best third items. Twitch. He has two a bit different rune pages. First one is burst oriented with PTA and domination. It's the best page if you wanna roam around and have a lot of kills. If you are playing for scaling, Lethal Tempo with sorcery should be better for you. His build path sucks a bit, you have to build a weak border because other items are no longer good. Runan or PD into BT or EE should be the best build overall. However, his experimental build could work in theory and make him a lot stronger. Varus, who is always weak, should be a bit better in this patch. Lethal Tempo comeback with its new on-attack damage will make it a lot stronger for such champion as Varus. Other runes are pretty much the same. Also, Resolve 3 is performing better on average for Varus. About his build, I think Varus is the only champion who will still build Kraken due to his trade pattern and early game power. PD's second is much stronger than any of items for Varus, so I recommend to try it. His experimental build is full lethality, which should be fine, but not so strong. Vayne. She should synergize well with new Lethal Tempo, but PTA and Fleet are also decent options. Capped Grace and Cut Down are both fine for Vayne. Resolve is her best second rune tree on average. Her first item most likely will remain the same. Trinity and PD perform better as second item for Vayne even now, and it won't change with new patch. Third item is situational. Xayah. She should be a bit stronger in new split. Lethal Tempo should be good for her. However, Conqueror works insanely well because she can get 2 stacks from her passive Feather's Hit. It helps a lot in lane and in teamfights in general. Other precision runes will remain the same. Secondary tree will be just strong sorcery runes. Her build also will look pretty similar. The only thing is that Yuntal could potentially work as a good first item. We will see what is better with stats in the next patch. Last ADC, Zeri. She, just like Varus and Kalista, likes Lethal Tempo with Last Stand and Resolve. Her build is also mostly the same. Important things are, Botok is not a great item for her, and they won't be strong in new split. EE is nerfed hard, which could potentially make it not the best third item. Other than that, she is pretty similar. Oof, that was a pretty long video. Of course, these are my assumptions and some of them can be not the most optimal ones, but we will see it very soon. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, please press like and subscribe button. It motivates me a lot. Thank you and goodbye.